One key learning when I'm living solo in Himalayas is human beings are always looking for some kind of distraction. I think since childhood we have been distracted. Distraction is not good or bad. The truth that we have been distracted. Remember, as a child, your parents or even my parents used to play some kind of music, some kind of instrument, musical instrument, so they can distract us. That's one type of distraction which is not bad, but the nature of human being that we love to stay distracted always. That's how since millennia we have been trained. Now imagine if there are no distractions. There are no distractions available, so I decided to do a little experiment in my life. I decided to stay alone for almost 5 days in the secret place in Himalayas where there is absolute zero distraction. No social media distraction, no people distraction. Of course, you cannot say the nature as distraction because nature is nature. It's like that's the truth. The birds chirping can't be distraction, right? The sound of the water can't be distraction, correct? So you cannot consider that as a distraction. Distraction is something which we have created. Human beings have created. So I thought, let me go and study the human behavior, and the easiest way to study the human behavior is to study yourself because you yourself represent the humanity. When you study yourself, you represent the humanity. So one realization out of many learnings that we always love to be stay distracted. In other words, we say it's busy. We always want to stay busy. Now, when I was living there in the mountain alone, and when there was zero distraction, then I got access to silence, which many people they crave for silence, right? Many times you might have heard this that I'm looking for silence, I'm looking for silence. But have you ever experienced silence? And is the silence really good? Is the silence really tolerable? Really? So unless and until you don't experience it, it's like some. I remember one day one of my friends was saying that, yeah, that's ice. I said, let's go and just touch, because sometimes even the stone reflects the sun, and it looks like ice, but it's not ice. So have you experienced real silence where there's absolute zero distraction outside? Zero distraction. So I started meditating. Uh, it was difficult on day one, day two, very difficult. So I took the help of music, not social media, but I started playing some song because this sound of silence, like key, was so disturbing. And for the first time, when I heard this key, I thought this is coming from outside. But when I close my ears like this, any sound which is coming from outside, if you're closing your ears, the intensity should go down. But when I close my ears, the intensity was the same. It means the sound is here, the silence is here. And this sound of key, maybe the sound in your mind, which is because of the various conflicts and the thoughts and the chemical reaction going in your mind because you're continuously thinking. So one thing which I have realized, ladies and gentlemen, is not necessary the silence is tolerable. And unfortunately, in city life, throughout the life, we never get exposed to silence. Like in Mumbai, it is difficult to find a place where there is no construction going on. There's always accumulated sound of AC and the traffic and where multiple things, people talking. There's always accumulated sound coming on your ears, right? I'm talking about real sound. And when that sound is absolutely zero, you get access to the sound which is going in your mind, which is called silence, but very difficult to tolerate. Then I started meditating, started organizing my thoughts, started learning how to uh, categorize thoughts, which I will talk about this in some other video. But one key learning during 5 days is, I think, throughout the life we have uh, decided, unless and until you don't experiment in your life something like this, you have decided that I will stay distracted in my life. To that one of my friends, he said, Praveen, I have a cow, and this cow is throughout the life, she was in the village and absolute away from any kind of distraction, any kind of traffic sound, any kind of sound apart from the sound which is coming from the nature. And imagine you take that cow and put in the middle of some very busy traffic signal. What will happen with that cow? That cow will go mad, right? Because that cow has never experienced distraction. That cow has always experienced silence. Similarly, what has happened that in the city life we have always experienced distraction, never experienced silence. And suddenly when we experience silence, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. So the first key learning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sirs and ma'ams, is all those people who are seeking for silence, that I need silence, I need silence. When you really experience silence, you will get uncomfortable. And it's a different journey to become comfortable with that silence, that you become comfortable with yourself. Because right now you are not with yourself, right now you are distracted, right now you're always busy in something, isn't it? That's a truth, right? That's a truth. Always busy in something. I'm not just talking about this whole new wave of content consumption on social media. We're always busy on social media. I'm just not on that. Of course, that's the perfect recipe for disaster. But what I'm saying is that we're always stay busy in city life. Since childhood, we never experience silence. And when you experience silence, you become a little uncomfortable. And then your journey starts to become comfortable with that silence. And when you become comfortable with that silence, then you become comfortable with yourself. And then you can say that even if you lock yourself or if you stay alone for a few days, still you can stay peaceful, still you can stay happy. So out of various learnings from my 5 days solo living in secret place in Himalayas, there in on that mountain, uh, one realization is human beings are living a very distracted, designed distracted, busy life. That's the reason many people, they never experience silence. But moment you experience silence, that is uncomfortable. But then you start the journey of becoming comfortable with your silence, which is the truth, which is you. And then you become comfortable. And then you can say that even I'm living, I can live a happy life. That doesn't mean that you have to leave people, you don't want anyone. That doesn't mean, I'm not at all on that page. But if you remove all the distractions from your life, all the business from your life, and when you sit with yourself, are you happy or not? That is the key question. Ladies and gentlemen, I will keep on sharing. Again, my dog has gone somewhere, but I will keep on sharing these learnings, because as a storyteller, what I believe, whenever I learn something, it's my responsibility to share with the world.